Welcome.
We ain't afraid of no ghosts.
This is your number one podcast for ghoulies and ghosties and long-legged beasties. Bringing you everything you need to know about things that go bump in the night and interviewing the personalities behind them. Make sure your doors and windows are locked. Now, here are your hosts, your ghost hosts, Scott and Julie.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Paranormal Project. Hi Julie, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Scott. How are you today?
Doing okay. So last fall, we were in, I don't even know the name of the town, way up in New York where they get a lot of snow. And we met this couple, Jeffrey and Kristal Kysor. Mm-hmm. And we started chatting and, actually thanks to Cindy, who was going around scouting everybody and meeting people for us, we went over and we met them and we thought that'd be a really fun couple to have on the show. They've got a lot going on. So we're going to be able to chat with them tonight. They are the founders of the paranormal group, The Dead Explorers. They are hosting their first ever psychic fair, the Psychic in the Valley Psychic Fair in New York. They are authors of the book, The Unexplained, The House of Secrets. And I do want to talk to them about that because I know they built this book as a fiction, but they did live in this house. And it was all kind of brought around by some of the experiences they had while living in this house. So we can chat to them about that. They are on Paraflix, Echoes Unheard. And they're on the Haunted Truth, the YouTube series. So they've got a lot going on. It's amazing they can hold down a full-time job. You know what that's like.
I used
Hi,
to.
Anton.
I'm retired now.
Was that? Yeah, well, you're retired. You can do whatever you want.
I used to. I'm retired now.
I'm telling you. So what do you think? We should bring them out.
I think we should.
Welcome
Absolutely.
Jeffrey and Kristal to the show. How are you guys? How you doing?
Hey. Good. How are you?
Good.
Nice
To have you.
Thanks.
They're outside, Julie. So upstate New York, I expect it to be a lot colder.
I'm actually kind of like hot right now.
You're hot right now?
Yeah.
Come over to Julie's house. Her fan is on.
Put my fan on. Exactly. Yes.
Wow.
Apparently, Julie has a resident spirit now who
Turning
likes
on
to
the
put
fan.
on.
That's it. So we haven't chatted for a while. How you guys been?
Pretty
good.
Yeah.
Busy. Yeah.
Busy. Yeah, you have a ton of stuff going on. What is the thing that's keeping you most active these days?
The
Haunted Truth.
Yeah.
The which?
The Haunted Truth.
Yeah.
The Haunted Truth. That's the YouTube channel, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
So do you travel for that? What is the premise behind the Haunted Truth?
We go everywhere.
Yeah.
Our next one's going to be at the Sweet Home Estates
Where's that?
And where's that?
in
Fillmore, New York.
Fillmore, New York. Yeah.
So do you stay kind of locally in upstate New York? Because I know you're very close to like Niagara Falls, that area.
We go out of state also. Like we'll be going to Penhurst Asylum. We're going to be going to Lake Shawnee, the abandoned amusement park.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, really? Oh, that's interesting.
Wow.
A lot.
Wow.
Write these down, Julie.
Yeah,
Right
I
to the
know. Really, that's very interesting. The amusement park sounds pretty cool, actually.
Yeah, it does. I'm looking.
Is that a
forward.
back door entrance, or can you go in the front gate?
Oh no, it's front. Like,
Yeah.
people own it, and they.
Oh, that's
It's
great.
pretty cool. It's got a kind of sad history to it too.
Yeah.
Is that the one where a child had drowned in the lake? I believe it was a little girl. I think.
There was a little, I believe, little
think
boy,
a
and then
boy.
a little girl died on the swing or something.
She like
Oh, those flying swings. Yes, I think I remember reading about that. Right.
like backing up or whatever,
Mhm.
and
What is left? What is left there? Are the rides are probably gone?
no, the swing thing that she was on, that's still there. The Ferris wheel, I don't know what else.
There's some other stuff. I haven't really seen much of it.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That sounds like an interesting excursion, though.
Yeah. Is that the place? I'm not sure because I watch and read so many haunted places. It's near a lake, and the lake is also known to be haunted by the indigenous people. They said that they wouldn't go near the lake because there was something in the lake.
Oh, I don't know.
I
Holy, there's
don't
some
know.
yappy dogs behind us.
It's a bear. If it gets too close, I'll let you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. No, it was Native American land,
Yes.
so it's possible.
Okay, so it is possible that's the
Wow.
place that I'm thinking of, that they had
In
said
West Virginia, right? Yeah, West Virginia.
Yeah, West
Yeah.
Virginia.
West Virginia. Okay, because I think I remember reading something about it saying that they were surprised that an amusement park was built on the land because they didn't think that it was good land and they
Right.
wouldn't live there anyway. They wouldn't live there, they just, as we know, indigenous people have had so many different spaces that
Mhm.
they think have bad energy in them and they won't live there.
Interesting.
Could have been.
And you've been before, so.
No, we
No,
haven't.
this
Oh,
is
you
good.
haven't.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
wow. So it'll be new for you too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh no, road trip. We'll have to
Yeah.
put that one on. the
I
list.
know. When you guys going?
August or June? June 17th.
June, yeah.
Yeah, so the weather will be great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be nice.
I'm
That's
looking-
Wow.
that's awesome. That's awesome. Wow, very exciting. Wow.
And I know you're busy with that, but what about Paraflix, Echoes Unheard? You have a show on there as well.
Yep, we've
Mhm.
got our documentary that we filmed last year, and it was released last year. It's on there.
So how did that work out for you? Do you have a crew that goes with you, or are you doing it all yourself?
Nope, we for that we did have like a camera guy and all that, but yep,
Mhm.
pretty much just
For the
us.
Haunted Truth, we have one other person that is going to be behind the camera and everything now. So
Yep.
So you're gonna have one other person. Yeah, it's kind of it's hard to film I mean, it's hard to film and be in it at the same time. You almost need to have someone. And I know they kind of did it with, let's just say Destination Fear as an example, but they all had cameras, and there
Yeah.
probably
Right.
was someone else with cameras too that we didn't even see. So,
Right.
you're getting all these different angles, and
Right.
if you're the only one with a camera, there's not much to look at other than
right, it's hard to get all those angles and everything. And
right, and setting it up. It's tough. It's hard to do.
Yeah.
like
Right.
our first episode of The Haunted Truth of Pigman Road, we did that all on a tripod and stood in front of it.
Yeah.
So
That we filmed
Wow.
that one last year,
Mhm.
and we just put it out. But
How did it get
This
picked up
was,
by Paraflix?
This was Pigman Road.
Pigman Road,
Yep.
yeah. That
Where
one did
is
not. It's in Angola, New York.
Okay, close to where you guys live.
Yeah, it's about maybe 20 minutes
Yeah.
away.
Okay, and what's the legend there?
There was a guy that
was supposedly butchered by,
Yeah.
I guess, a butcher.
Yeah, there's a couple different stories.
Yeah.
One is that a man was born deformed, kind of looked like a pig, and then would like decapitate people and put their heads on like sticks in front of his house to keep other people away.
That would keep me away.
uh,
Yeah, don't need a guard dog there.
And
yeah,
then-
there's a couple stories.
yeah.
And he
and
was a butcher?
oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, and Scott was saying, and then he was a butcher, or that's just a second folk tale.
Oh, that was, I guess, the second folktale, as people.
Oh, okay.
Okay. And did you find any evidence?
We got an oink,
That's about it.
and then it was
An
kind of cool
oink.
because
Yeah.
like we were doing EVP and we got a single oink, and then we asked like what year it was, and it did say 22, which was kind of cool. But while we were filming, a couple locals drove by and they stopped and talked to us, and you can hear it on film because we did do that in there. And they said that he's been here since like the 60s, and it's all fake and whatever. So I mean, who knows?
Right, exactly. You don't know because there's so many stories behind, things that we like to investigate. And I think that's why we investigate. We're trying to get to the truth, trying to find out exactly what took place.
Mhm.
So
And
how
then-
have you done? I think we lost Scott, but he should be back. Good old internet service. So how many episodes have you filmed so far?
Right now, there's 2 out.
Mhm.
Okay.
We just start releasing them. I know we've got more that we've got to put together, and
We have Wildwood filmed.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Okay.
and it's
Gotcha.
Salamanca, by the way.
Yes.
Salamanca, that's it. I knew what it was,
There
but
we go.
I wasn't about to break out Google while we were opening of the show. And I knew it too. I knew that. Oh my gosh.
That's it. Off screen, he was going through his calendar.
My head
Where
was like
I?
going. We've never investigated there. We were there, but we didn't investigate.
It's a
Yeah.
great location.
Yeah, we love it there.
I'd love to go with a small group. I mean, I think there were a lot of people,
Yeah,
Mhm.
when we were there, and I don't know that we would have had the same experience. It's not a huge place, really.
no, it's not, and it's. I mean, just like most places, sound travels, so you got to keep it smaller.
Sure.
Or all just go together and make everybody be quiet.
Well, that's the key to it, honestly, is that you really need the quiet to try to pick up anything.
Mhm.
Otherwise, it's just it all gets lost, basically.
Yeah. Last time we were there, no, 2 times ago we were there. We've gone so many times. We got a lot of responses just sitting there and having regular conversations between ourselves, and it was a lot like, who is he, and be quiet, and fun stuff like that you would think we'd get.
And just for people who don't know, who are watching, we're talking about the Wildwood Sanitarium, which is in Salamanca, New York, and that's where we met. We were there last fall.
Yes.
But isn't that the truth with EVPs though? Sometimes it's not when you're sitting there putting the recorder on and asking questions. It's when you're turning the camera on, you're just kind of talking and moving about your business, and
Right.
it's like,
When you least expect it.
yeah, when you least expect. I mean, look at the one we got last week. We were we put it on last week's show, but we were in an abandoned opera house, and we were just starting. We were in our safe room, and I just turned on the camera. We were getting ready to go, and you can hear this kid talking. It was crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it, exactly. When you least expected. We were talking about that over the weekend when I was at just a small investigation, small local investigation, and one of our friends is a high school teacher, and he has the paranormal club. So he said, hey, who wants to come and help the paranormal club investigate this place that we've done a bunch of times? And we weren't getting a whole lot of stuff until I was standing in the back hall, started to talk with 3 of the high schoolers that were in the back hall with me. And we just kind of started talking about just paranormal in general and having a conversation. And then suddenly the REM pod started going off like crazy. And I said to them, this happens more often than not when we kind of ignore spirit and just start talking amongst ourselves is when we seem to get activity the most.
Yeah.
The REM pod's my favorite piece of equipment to use, to be honest. I love it.
Yeah.
I like
and you can use it to communicate, which is,
Right.
in many cases, many times,
Right, absolutely. Yeah, it's always fun. So yeah, that was a good time, really. And they were all kind of like high schoolers, just learned about the equipment, never been on an investigation, and they were sort of like, "What is that? Why is it doing that?" Well, ladies,
that's just before possession. That's just before the kids get possessed.
And that's why Scott was not there.
Yeah. Usually they'd like to keep me away from the children, for that very reason.
We got a music box, and we were showing our kids it a couple, 2 years ago, maybe. And we had said, when it goes off, it's detecting, a ghost. And we put it right to them. And of course, they're standing there, so it's going to go off.
Yeah.
They're like,
Fun with kids.
yeah. We brought our twins to the last investigation we did at Wildwood Sanitarium, and it was fun. They're 13, and
they're older.
They like it. They loved it.
Yeah.
Mine doesn't have an interest to go back yet.
No.
He was kind of traumatized. We took him to we went on It was the USS Salem in Massachusetts, and there were a couple of other kids there, and they were fine, and he was just traumatized.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Really traumatized. He's very empathic, and I don't know if that had anything to do with it, but
Right.
inconsolable, really. I finally said, okay, let's go. Let's get out of here.
Aw.
Buzzkill.
And I believe he's only, what was he, 7 at the time or 8?
Maybe, yeah, he could have been 7 or 8.
He's a little guy. He's
Yeah.
just a little
Aw.
guy.
Probably
The
8. He
lights
was
were
probably
out,
8.
you know.
Probably 8. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think if I were that age, I'd be scared too, sitting in the dark
Yeah.
calling for a ghost. If
I know I
you
would be.
think about it,
It's
Scott,
creepy anyway. It's creepy
he's probably
anyway.
the smartest out of the group that was there.
Probably.
He's like, I want out of
Just
here.
now, I'm 30.
So, guys, how did your show get picked up on Paraflix?
We asked them. We're just like, hey, all right.
Patty is so great. So we're talking about Patty Negri. She is, with Paraflix, and she was on our show last year. But that's really great that they took you on. That's awesome. It's like Netflix for the paranormal, for whoever doesn't know of Paraflix.
Yeah,
And it's all
I love
internet based. Yeah, that's really
We
great.
got a promo code too.
You've got a
So
what?
if anybody wants a promo code, get 10%.
Well, let's put that up there. What is your promo code?
Echoes 10. 10, like Echoes 10.
So Echoes 10, and that's www.promo code, right? I'm going to put it right across the bottom of the screen. Promo code Echoes 10 at www.paraflix.com, right? Let's see.
Yep. And it's
And
got to be
there-
used
yes.
for the monthly subscription, not the yearly.
Great.
That's for the monthly subscription?
Yep.
Where the heck did it? Oh, there it is right there.
There
There it is. Now it'll scroll across the bottom.
It's
Perfect.
scrolling now. There you go.
Send it www.paraflix.com. Perfect. So if anybody wants to check it out, I mean, there's all kinds of stuff. I mean, there's all kinds of good stuff on there. You know, that's pretty cool.
Absolutely. Yes.
And when you set that up, did they say, well, yeah, and we'll help you, or go ahead, have fun, and let us know what you have? I mean, how did that work? Did that how it work out? Or
Well, we did everything with Natalie Jones. We sent her the video or like the documentary, and they reviewed it and then said, yeah. So then we just sent everything in that we needed to.
Yep.
Fun, good times.
That's cool. So you keep talking about the documentary that you did. What was that exactly? For people who are listening, can you tell them exactly what you did?
It's the Echoes Unheard. That's that one. You explain.
Yeah, but what is that? What is that about?
The Hinsdale House.
It's about the Hinsdale House. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, so you did a
The
documentary.
whole show is about
on
the
your
Hinsdale
visit?
House, or just one episode?
Echoes Unheard is just the whole documentary movie.
Yeah.
Oh, I gotcha. Okay.
Okay, and how long is that?
I'd say an hour.
Hour something. I'm
Something
not
like that.
sure.
Hour? Okay, and
Yeah,
do you?
maybe like an hour 10, something like that.
Oh, okay. So is it about an investigation that you, the Dead Explorers, did at the Hinsdale House?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay,
Yep.
all right. So it's an hour of your investigation?
Yeah, it's like a couple days worth put together.
Right. And you put it down to an hour. Oh, okay. So how long were you there? For 2-3 days?
I think we were there almost 3 days.
Yeah.
Really? Wow. Super interesting. And now,
Tell me about that place, because
yeah, I really want to
go.
hear about
And actually, there's an opening next weekend. So we had. Do you know who Monique Toussoon is? She's the drag queen.
Yeah.
She lives right up the road here. She's not far from us, and she was on our show. And I follow her, and she's supposed to be at the Hinsdale House, I think, next weekend. And I said, oh my God, I'd love to go. I can't ride out with her because she's there for 2 days, and I can't. I'm not going to stay for 2 days.
Right.
Go and come back.
Oh, there's
But I
plenty of
know-
places to sleep. Don't worry about that.
Well, no. But it's not so much that. It's driving out alone and coming back alone, because it's a little bit of a ride. But
Yeah.
we've talked about this amongst ourselves and within our group, and some of us are a little more, I don't say nervous, but just a little more.
Sensitive.
What is it?
Sensitive.
Well,
As a
sensitive, but
psychic- as a
and because of
psychic
that,
empath,
apprehensive. I think that's the word that I'm
apprehensive, but as a psychic empath, from what I've read, seen, and heard, I think that I would be extremely uncomfortable there. I don't think it would be an investigation I would enjoy.
I see. I am completely different. I absolutely love the Hinsdale house, and I will sleep like a baby there. Sorry, I will sleep like a husband there. Yeah.
You snore then. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Like bedtime. All right, I am out. Anywhere else, I'm wide awake and having a hard time sleeping. But there, I can just lay down and go right to sleep. No issue.
Really? That's
So
Yeah.
what have you experienced? I mean, because I think the sense that we get is that there's some really not so good juju there.
Yeah. A lot of it is the land. When we were there, we were actually hosting an event there, and some of the guests, they were outside and saw a car go in front of the house, and it's on a dead end road. There is nowhere to go, and that the car just like kept going.
And it's like a drop.
Yeah,
Also, like,
it's like probably maybe 15-20 foot drop. So there was literally nowhere for it to go without crashing.
really
Yeah, it was
Wow.
interesting. How many people were outside and saw this?
just two.
two.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow, very interesting.
What about
I
within
did-
the house, though?
Yeah.
In the house, oh man. We got
The basement scares the crap out of me. I don't know why.
Basements, anyway. But
Basements anywhere, yeah. I got growled at in the basement. Me and one of our old team members, we were down there, and immediately we walked down there and got growled at. That was the only time that happened to us.
Interesting. Wow.
There's a Native American that we were talking to,
The chief.
he was like a chief.
Mhm.
But I don't know. I like it there. It's
have you been to the Conjuring House?
yeah.
How does it feel compared to that? How would you?
I honestly, they felt similar. Like both didn't bother me at all. Like I'm not scared to go in these places. This
I don't-
one,
I don't plan on going back to the Conjuring House anytime
Oh,
soon.
really? See,
Oh,
we've been
yeah.
there a couple of times, and last time we went, it was, I mean, we slept,
Dead. No.
we slept like husbands. It was really nothing going on. I mean, it was really quiet, and I've been there a few times, and, sometimes it's more active than others, but I've never felt that I can't close my eyes
Or
because I'm going to
fear.
be.
No, right. I've never felt threatened. I've never felt
Right.
fear in there. I have felt at the Conjuring House like I'm always being watched. You're
Yes.
like, I'm never alone in the Conjuring House, which makes going to the bathroom so much fun, but but yeah, but it just has that feeling of you're never alone. But I don't get that really hinky feeling there. But I remember watching and reading about the Hinsdale house that the land itself is really active.
yeah. And again, that's it was Native American land, and a lot of bad things happened there to them. So it's
Then the two brothers.
yeah, the two brothers.
In Hinsdale.
Oh yeah, tell them about
What
it.
happened?
What year did they say?
I don't remember a year.
Two brothers, I guess, were they arguing?
Yeah,
And one brother shot the other brother.
like up in the woods.
Yeah.
And it was kind of cool. When we were there filming, I think it was the last day. We were just outside, just looking at the house, and it was morning time.
About
and,
9 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. And outside of hunting season, that's really important. We just heard, what was it? Two gunshots? Just,
that's it.
2 gunshots. And then nothing but there was like no disturbances in wildlife or anything. And
You would think if you're practicing like shooting, you would blow off more than 2 rounds.
Yeah.
But no, it was just 2 rounds.
And the birds would fly away, the animals would skitter out of the way.
Nothing.
Yeah. I understand that that's something that's heard frequently, are the 2 gunshots from the Battle of the Brothers. I think they were fighting over the land, but I'm not 100% sure what that was
Are
exactly.
there other houses in the area, or is it kind of isolated?
It's
Both.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's houses up in the back, like instead of turning left, like when you're going down the road to go down to the Hinsdale house, if you continue straight, there's houses up a hill.
But I think it might just be like one, maybe two. But yeah, there's not many.
I just wonder if they experience anything.
Probably.
You know, I
I
know.
don't know. Dan would be able to talk more about that.
Yeah, we had Dan on the show, I don't know, last year at some point, and we did talk about it a little bit. I don't remember everything we chatted about, but I do know that the Conjuring house, it's not just that house, it's the houses next to it, or everything. The whole area is haunted. It's the land, it's the house, it's everything. And they, the King Philip War took place in that area, and that's Native Americans, and
And it was very bloody, and
very,
that
very
would
bloody.
definitely leave a scar on the land there. And
Right.
from what I understand, the Hinsdale house, the land, it also has a scar on it from all of everything that's taken place there.
Right.
Yeah. When we were at the Conjuring house, I heard horses and like in the back field there, and we went and talked to Jen and told her, and she was like, "Oh yeah, that's normal." And I mean, there was no
Really?
horses there.
Right.
But I can hear them.
Yeah, we've had some weird stuff happen there, but nothing, like I say, that made me think, geez. In fact, we went down to the basement we were just there, not even a month ago.
4 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
And we went down the basement. It felt almost empty, and it's sort of strange because she's done a great job in there. She's cleaned up. She's built a storage closet. She's got rugs on the ground, but it almost feels like, oh, they swept the spirits out with the dust on the ground. I'm sure they didn't, but it just had that very, very benign feeling when we went in there.
And that basement was always a hotbed of activity, especially if you go towards the back of it. If you walk past the well, which was pretty active, but you keep going to the back of the basement there. That was where it was just the psychic energy was just through the roof down there.
Yeah.
So one of these days, I will get there to Hinsdale House. I don't know. If I had someone to drive with, I'd go next weekend.
Send me a postcard, sir.
Yeah.
I like it. It's one of those locations that we continuously go back to, and it's very homely feeling.
Is that near you? Not far from you? Oh, it is.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's probably
We're about 35 minutes from Wildwood, so I'd say we're about an hour and 10 from Hinsdale.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All right.
that's
So
easy.
that's sort of like the S.K. Pierce mansion in Gardner to us.
Or for me, the Conjuring house, it's about an hour for me.
Yeah, we
yeah.
keep going back to these locations because we're within an hour drive of them.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so that makes sense. Yeah.
So speaking of haunted houses, because I know that they had, that's one that you like to visit, and we've all been to different ones, but you had your own.
Yeah.
And,
Yep.
I know, and we could talk about the book and why you wrote it and that kind of thing. But what sort of experiences did you have in your home? You were raising your children there, right?
Yeah, we were only there a little over a year. The first day we were there, we had our bed down in the living room until we obviously had all our furniture upstairs. So the first night we're laying there, and he looks in over by the kitchen, and there's a woman standing by
right at
the peninsula.
island.
Yeah. And just standing there and
in like a white nightgown.
Yep.
Don't they wear anything else? I mean, have you noticed that? They're always in white gowns and stuff.
Crowds,
The last day we were moving out, there was a lady there because we were giving away like our kitchen table and everything when we were moving out. And she told us that there was a lady in the dining room. She was, I think, on hospice, and she had her hospital bed in there, and she passed away in the house.
Okay.
So I'm guessing that could have been her at the dining room, like at the island, whatever you called
Yeah,
it.
peninsula.
Right. Possibly.
There was she was short, like super short. I would say like a 5-year-old height type short, maybe 7. Old lady though, in all black, and like she looked really nasty. And I'd woken up the one day and she was standing like next
In our
to our
bedroom.
dresser, in our bedroom, and in our room there was like a 3-foot attic door that you could open, and it would just like randomly open. So we had to put what did we end up putting in front of it?
Our box of ammo.
Yeah, we've got a big like tote box thingy full of ammo, and we put that in front of it to keep it closed, or else it would just keep opening on us.
And we made sure it was latched, and I mean latched and tugged on it.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't open if we're tugging on it. And then we would come home and it's wide open, and
Yeah.
we're like, holy.
Wow. And that's before you put the big box in front of it.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yep.
And did you go up? Did this lead up to the attic?
There was no like attic, but it was like, I mean, there was,
Like
but
a crawl space?
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
And we would- it was above, the crawl space was above the dining room, and there was a point I think I was home alone. It might have just been me and you. And
I was working security when you told me about that.
okay, so I could hear like somebody walking like in the attic part there, and it's not tall enough for you to like stand up unless you're short.
Right.
And there's definitely nowhere to walk. And there was a little girl there, which we had spoke to previous people that lived there, and they said that their daughter used to play with the girl.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And did the girl pass away?
I don't know.
No idea.
I mean, I seen her because she like ran through our living room, and we had checked our security cameras and we didn't see anything.
Right.
But I like seen her run from our dining room table into the living room, and at first I thought it was my daughter, and then I realized not my daughter is over at her cousin's house.
Oh.
So it wasn't her.
So let's talk about that for a minute, because this fascinates me a little bit. You know, Julie saw someone, at the Opera House. She saw someone cross across the hallway from one room to another room.
Mhm.
But it was in such a way that you saw them, but you didn't really make out features. You thought it was one of us. It was, I mean, is it
Right.
that kind of thing, or are you able to sit there and really?
no.
And is she
Yeah.
100% solid, or are you seeing through her, or?
So the old lady, she was like, I would have thought there was really somebody there. The little girl, she was moving, so it was like a, kind of like a mix. Like you could see her, like everything, like features and all that, and then, but like in the movingness, I don't even know. Like when you take a picture of somebody moving and it's kind of blurry,
Yes.
like that.
Okay. So she was a little girl. So I think what I'm trying to figure out is your neighbor said that she used to play with their daughter. Was their daughter how old was your neighbor, and was their daughter an adult at that time that you talked to them?
No, so it was the people that used to live there.
Okay.
Their daughter, she's 13 now. I think 12 or
12.
13. Yeah. When they lived there, she was probably maybe 5 or 6.
Okay.
And she was playing with her then.
She was playing with the spirit child.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh,
So
not the real child.
No,
Right.
not the real child, the spirit
Right.
child.
Gotcha.
Okay. All right. Oh, all right. So she was probably, how old would you think that she would be?
Let's see. Well, I thought it was my daughter, and she was 9 at the time.
Yeah.
So I would
Okay.
have put her around my daughter's age.
So that's interesting, because definitely too old to have an imaginary friend, because they usually pop up around toddler time.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting. Wow. And did
It's
you get a
interesting.
chance to ever get a chance to chat with the girl that played with the spirit girl?
No.
Honestly,
No.
no.
Okay.
No.
That would be an interesting conversation.
It would
She'd
be-
probably look at us like we were crazy, because she could remember it. But
If she was 9, I would think that she would remember.
well, I think the spirit girl is about 9, and the girl that lived there was probably about more 5 to 7.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Okay.
sorry. I'm so
Yeah.
confusing.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Sure. Okay,
did say
that makes sense. Yeah. A 5-year-old probably wouldn't remember. Absolutely. Yeah.
So
Oh.
why did you leave? Was it
Um,
too much, or were there other reasons that you left?
There were other reasons, but we really decided to back away when my kids kept saying that they kept hearing voices, and one of the twins, I asked them, what are they saying, and they said that they needed to do bad things, and obviously I don't want that.
No.
That's scary.
Yeah,
That's very
and
scary.
right after we had left, and it was really affecting me bad.
She would come home from work. She'll go to work, be in a good mood at work and everything. I pick her up from work, all fine. As soon as we got in that house, it's like a switch.
Yeah.
And we would argue.
Yeah, it was bad.
It was, yeah. And once we left, it's
completely different.
Yeah.
Yep. That my boys aren't hearing anything anymore. I mean, that was.
Had you investigated before that time?
That was my question. Would you, because it's your home, did you investigate there or not?
Mhm.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Okay. And what did you find?
Found a boot down in the basement in a hidden chimney closet area
Yeah.
thing.
And a set of
One boot.
overalls. Yep. We
Okay.
did. We saved the boot, so we do have that, and it's
Mhm.
We sent it. Was it Tim Shaw that we were?
We sent it to
Yeah,
Tim
we
Shaw, a
showed
picture of
we
it.
showed pictures to Tim Shaw, and he guesstimated it around 1940s.
Okay.
That
Was
like
it
it was made
adult boot or a child's boot?
adult. The house was built in 1870.
Okay.
Oh, it was older. Okay.
Okay.
I was
Okay.
thinking it was more recent.
Yeah, because I know that there's a very old superstition folklore that you put a child's shoe in the wall and that keeps away the evil spirits. I don't know where it came from, but I know that it's part of New England folklore. And a lot of times people open up these houses from the 1700s and the 1800s, and they find one baby's little booty or shoe or something in the wall, and they get totally freaked out. And I would too if I didn't know the folklore and know why it was there. So
Do you remember, Julie? We went to this mansion in New York, was it the Catskills? Or I think it was the Catskills. And whatever, they were working on the roof. They wanted to insulate or something up above. So they went up and they looked, and the guy was looking, because you got a whole other room down here. It was completely walled off.
Yes.
So they went through and they opened up the door and they found photos and cradles and dolls, and it was like a children's room where the child had died, and they just walled it off, and that was the end of it. Left it the way it
As
was.
a matter of fact,
is that the same one where was it Ghost Hunters went to?
Ghost Hunters.
Yes, it is. As a matter of fact,
they knocked in the wall.
Burnbrae.
Burnbrae Manor. They found.
Burnbrae Manor.
Familiar.
I'm sorry.
Yes, Burnbrae.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I was saying that name.
Yeah, that was it. Yeah, we were there for the night, and they it was Taps that had found it when they were investigating, and he gave them permission to open it up to take a look at it. It was pretty cool. It really was something, I'll tell you. Yeah,
Just amazing, really, when you think about it.
Yeah, they opened it up.
That's awesome.
It's crazy.
That's pretty crazy. So you moved out of the house, and then and so because you investigated, it wasn't like extra high EMF or anything like that. I mean, that was causing all of the anger and everything. That you would have investigated that, I would imagine.
Yeah.
And then we had an angry, I guess you would say, tenant, because it was like, how would you call that house? There was an add-on.
It was like a multi-unit house. Like we had our main house, and then we had an apartment attached to it. It was like a 2-bedroom apartment attached to it. And the tenant that lives there, he's still there.
Is into witchcraft, or
he's real dark.
He's into the dark arts, you think?
Yeah. And we would hear him like cussing us out and putting spells on us or whatever he was doing. And it was just, I could guarantee a lot of that stuff is probably just caused by that.
Absolutely.
he was-
Right.
Yeah, that's not
And then
good.
he was trying to talk to his dead brother
Yeah.
as well.
Yeah. It was just.
That's terrifying. That's honestly, that's
And I'm-
terrifying.
Yeah.
To have that
My
under your
kids would
roof.
hear it.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah,
To
to
have
have
that
that
under-
under your roof. I mean, to have that in your house is horrible.
Right. And
So
how do
I
you
guess it
evict
would be a-
somebody like that? You go to eviction court and you say, well, he's over there putting curses on us. I mean,
Right.
yeah. What do
They
you
would
do?
think we're crazy.
Yeah.
That's it. That's it. What do you do? But I mean, when someone taps into that stuff, you don't know what they're going to find or come out with. That's
Mhm.
really scary.
Well, do you remember, Julie? And this was someone that lived right up the street from me when I was a child. So this was something I was aware of. I just didn't realize to what extent. And I remember John Zaffis telling me that this woman was having all kinds of trouble in this house. It was terrible. She went through hell. And when they pulled the rug up, they found pentagrams and they'd been doing black magic on the floor and whatever else. And
Yes.
I mean, that's who wants to mess around with that stuff? Why would you even bother?
Right.
You know?
Well, that's it.
Yep.
That's it, because you don't know what you're getting into. You don't know what kind of doors you're opening. And I mean, it's scary. It really is frightening. You guys lasted a year. I'd be out of there. So be terrified. My
Do you know
God.
whoever bought? So you sold the house or you rented it at the time?
We were actually in
Like a land
a land
contract.
contract, yeah. And
Oh, okay.
it was like, you know what? I think it was all like a blessing in disguise, because we were set to get the mortgage and then none of the banks would touch it. They're like, nope, we're not doing this. And it was super weird because once we left, we were able to get the house was sold,
Yeah.
And yeah,
I think it was a sign of it wasn't a good thing for us to buy.
don't stay here. It's not. Yeah.
Well, the reason I was asking was not so much about that, but the people that are living there now. Do you know if they're having any experience?
Yeah, actually, I know it's a couple, and the other day
A young couple, younger than us too.
Yeah.
wow.
Luckily no kids, but he got woke up at like 3:00 in the morning to things being thrown in their bathroom all over the floor that have been on the shelves since they moved in. And the shelves are really deep. They're like maybe 2-3 feet deep.
Yeah.
So it's nearly impossible for anything to be just like thrown across the
Push.
bathroom.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
then her cat looked terrified or something.
Yeah, she said her cat looked up and looked scared too. And the bathroom's not attached to the master bedroom either. So they had the cat sleeping with them and heard all this noise and the cat was like, what is going on?
Animals know,
Yeah.
look at your animals because they'll be the first to know that something's going on.
Yeah.
Sure.
Wow.
So
Scary.
you decided to write the book. Why did you make it a fiction?
Just for reading appeal. I mean,
Mhm.
To grab everyone's attention
Yeah.
as well.
Right. Yeah.
So, but it has, what is that, like a historical fiction in a sense, because it has parts of
Fiction based on
what
truth.
right, exactly, what
Yeah.
happened to
Yeah.
you
yeah.
while you were in the house.
Yeah.
And there it is.
Anyone's wait a minute, let me just there we go.
Not explain the house. Is that the house or is that
That's the
That is
actual
the
house.
house. Yeah.
This is the
And-
house.
And that's why I thought it was a new home. It looks like one of these newer homes, but it's
He painted
really
it that color. It
Yeah.
was
It was like a green.
a greenish
before.
gray.
Yeah.
Or it
It
was
was
a green
green.
color. Now it's I guess you
Gray.
would say gray.
Yeah.
Okay.
very interesting.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
And I bet you sleep a lot better in your house now.
Yeah.
Get over there.
Like a baby.
I enjoy this stuff, but I don't want to take it home with me.
Yeah.
She does.
Listen, I do it anyway. So
Every location we go to, she has to bring something
like a rock
back
or
with her.
something,
I don't know why.
Really? That's interesting. Wow.
Brought dirt home from the Conjuring house.
You would really like our friends, the Radicals.
He's got Jeffrey Dahmer's fork.
Oh my God, that is awesome.
What?
Yes, he did. Yeah, they do. They do.
Jeffrey Dahmer and all kinds of other stuff.
Documentation that it is a fork from Jeffrey Dahmer's house, among so many other things.
That is
Absolutely.
awesome.
They're from Rhode Island.
I think we met them last year.
What are their names?
They call themselves the Radicals.
Yeah, they have
Danny and Lauren Perez.
Yeah.
We met them at Sleepy Hollow.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
They are so much fun. They really are.
They had Chinese with us, actually, with James Zanito and Sam Baltrusis.
Yep.
You say had Chinese with you? Is
They
that
had
what you said?
Yeah.
That's Danny. Danny loves his Chinese. That's what he wanted to use the Dahmer
Fork for. I
on.
wonder if he got it that weekend. I don't know.
He said he had takeout and he didn't have any utensils. And I said to Scott, let's note if we're invited to dinner, we bring our own.
We bring our own silverware. Yeah, no. That's nasty. So are you going back to Sleepy Hollow?
Yep. Yeah, we'll be there.
That's not far for you either. I mean, that's like right up the road, right?
It's like
6
6 hours.
hours.
Yeah.
Oh, is it that far?
That's actually pretty close to us, Scott.
Yeah, because it's over by
Really?
outside New York City.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we're just outside of Boston. So I mean, I'm on the North Shore of Boston. Scott is just west of Boston. So yeah. So it's actually closer to us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And
Well,
I think, is that in September?
I believe
Yes.
so. Yeah. September 16th, I think.
Okay, cool.
I've heard it's a great area. I've never been. I don't know
Oh,
anything.
it's so
about it.
beautiful.
Is it?
Yeah, and I mean, last year we went
September
right before
16th.
Halloween, so everything was. I mean, I'm sure it's probably already decorated for, Halloween all year, but it was so cool.
Have you been to Savannah?
No.
No.
Because I just got word that the Savannah Paracon is coming up. The Haunted Savannah Panicon. Paracon is coming
Savannah,
up.
Sarah.
It's
Savannah's-
the Savannah
Savannah's
Panicon
beautiful. Yeah.
in September.
Oh,
Is it in
And
September?
Savannah's a beautiful city from what I hear. I've never been.
It is. I've
Very
been.
haunted.
It is absolutely gorgeous. And
Go
it's
sometime.
yeah, it is most definitely haunted. Oh yes, absolutely. It's just one of those places. It's sort of like Gettysburg.
mhm.
Okay.
When you all you have to do is walk around Gettysburg and you can just feel it. I found Savannah to be the same way. Walking through the squares, Louisville Square and a couple of the others, and even along now they've made a beautiful walk right along the river, a beautiful river walk, but it still has that tingly feeling to it. It's really cool, actually.
Yeah, very old, very
Yes.
haunted.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Yeah.
And you've got yours too. So when is yours coming up? Psychic in the Valley. Well, it's a psychic fair more than a full scale Paracon.
Yeah.
Where-
It is next weekend. Yeah.
Oh, it's like next weekend. Oh,
Yeah.
so then.
April 15th.
So what have you got? What's there? What do you have going on at the and where is it in case people are in that
It's
area?
in Gowanda, New York.
At the
Okay.
Moose Lodge.
Yep.
In Gowanda. Yep.
That's your town, right? That's where you are.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's,
who do you have coming there? I know I've seen it advertised.
We have April. I don't know
who's
how to,
that?
Karen Kerper. We
James
have
Zanito.
James Zanito, Sam Baltrusis. Who else?
Oh my gosh, we have so many people. Casey Colburn. She is really active with the Hinsdale House.
Ah,
Who else?
Oh my goodness. Tim Shaw.
Tim Shaw, Christy London.
Oh, Tim Shaw. Is that what you said? Tim Shaw.
ah.
Did you
Oh,
meet
yeah,
Christy London at Wildwood?
Yeah, yes, I did meet her actually. She was very nice. Yeah, I just
She'll
met her
be there.
briefly. Yeah.
Oh wow.
Who
Wow.
else?
I don't know.
It sounds
We got there's probably going to be about
Almost 40
about 40
people,
vendors.
like vendors.
or something like that. I don't even I've lost track.
Oh,
Wait.
that's fabulous. And what are the hours? Is it one day or 2 days?
Yeah, just one day.
One day, the 15th. And what are the hours?
10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay. All right. And can people buy tickets? Should they buy tickets in advance or?
I mean, yeah,
You can buy
definitely
tickets
can.
online or at the door.
Yep. And there
Okay.
are tickets also available for Christy London's gallery read.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's great. How much are tickets for that in case people are interested?
$40.
40? Yeah, I think
Yeah,
$40.
$40.
That's
And
great.
what time is the gallery read?
5. It's toward the end, so that way she has plenty of time. I think it starts at 5.
Oh, great.
Where is it held? I know it's in your town, but where is it being held?
The Moose Hall?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
The
the
Moose
Moose Hall.
Hall.
Okay, so it's inside. It's
Yes.
indoors. That'll be nice. Just to,
And
you
we'll have-
never know this time of year.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll, like a local barbecue
Barbecue
catering.
place, yep.
Yeah.
With their food truck
Yep.
coming.
No, they don't have a food truck.
That's not a food truck?
No, they don't have one.
Oh, I guess it's not a food truck.
There'll be food there, people. Yes.
Yeah, there'll be food.
Yeah.
And then we'll have
Is there how can people, or where should people go online to find tickets for everything? Scott can put it down on the little running thing.
It's all on Ticket Leap.
And what should they look for?
Psychic on the scene? No, not psychic on the scene. Psychic in the valley. Yeah.
I don't know what it's under. It's all on our
I'm
Facebook
looking right
pages.
So they can check out the Dead Explorers on Facebook.
Yep. Or
and
even
it'll be there.
either of ours. I know it's on ours for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so they would go on Facebook and look for the Dead Explorers,
Yeah.
and then
there.
they should be able to find it there, the Psychic in the Valley. And is there a schedule so they can check out the schedule?
We're getting that up
Yeah, I'm still
tomorrow, I
fixing
do
that.
believe.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Kind of make all the times. I want everybody to get, enough time to speak.
Right.
Sure.
Excellent. So we only have a couple of minutes left. Is there anything you want to share before we wrap up the show for the evening?
I'm good.
We'll be filming part 2 of Echoes Unheard. I know that.
What was it? Part
Oh.
2 of what?
The Echoes Unheard.
Echoes Unheard. You're looking forward to that, and that'll be on Paraflix as well. Don't forget, there's a
Yeah.
promo code right at the bottom, Echoes10. Go to www.paraflix.com, and you can sign up. And that's for the monthly, right? Not the annual. Is that what you said? Yeah.
Yep.
So I just want to let everyone else know, too, just a couple of little things before we break out for the night. I am going to be with the Solstice Sisters, who were on our show several weeks ago. We're heading out to Fort Wayne, Indiana, to the Bell Mansion at the end of this month. So that's the 27th and the 28th, the Friday and Saturday, the last weekend in April. And they, too, are having a psychic fair, but there's going to be table tipping and mountain magic and healing. And Dana and I are doing a gallery there at the Bell Mansion. So that's going to be a lot of fun. Tickets are online at www.thebellmansion.com. Also, I'm doing a gallery event with Karen Tatro. That is online. This one, you can sit in your pajamas and talk to the dead. Julie does that at home anyway.
Jimmy, talking to the dead.
Talk to the dead. And you can get that on my website, www.scottallen.com, under events. Just check the events tab and you'll see, you'll see both of the events there, as a matter of fact. And that's all on. Tickets are $19.95 for the gallery. And there she is, Christina Bowen. How are you, my friend? Speaking of the Solstice Sisters, she is one of the Solstice Sisters. So we'll be meeting out there at the end of April. So, guys, it has been a real pleasure having you on the show. I'm so glad we had a chance to chat with you before the sun went completely down in the background.
Well,
Been
thank
great.
you for putting the lights on, Jeffrey. We did catch that. That's awesome.
Yeah, that was great. And
Anyways,
I hope your fair is a huge success. I hope that you have a great time filming your next season and or the next episode or documentary or whatever it is that you're doing with Paraflix. And if I'm still alive, I'll check it out. I keep
If
coughing.
not, I'll check it out for him.
Yeah.
I'll let you know what
Oh
he
my
has
God.
to say.
I'm telling you. Anyway, everyone, have a great night. Thank you so
Good
much
night,
for being with
everyone.
us, and we'll see you
Thank you.
next week. Take
Bye.
care.
Thanks, guys.
You have been listening to The Paranormal Project with Scott Allen and Julie Finn. Be sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. While you're there, leave us a rating and review so others can find out about the show. Stay haunted and go out there and explore the paranormal.